What's up? VNC server is a thing that we may need in order to remote control a machine. It can be Linux, it can be other stuff as well. And when it comes to setting up a VNC server on openSUSE, it was a little tricky for me, and I cannot tell the exact correct approach that I followed, because sometimes it's like doing something in it, expecting it to work, and it doesn't work, and then going back to it next day or next time and trying something else, and it's like fast looking here and there in the forums. However, I will try to show as much as possible the configurations that I have on my system in order to get my VNC server working. For example, if you want to see it, I have it here. This is openSUSE, and it's working. The first thing is you go to sudo, you type sudo yast2, your password. You go to network services, and then remote administration between parentheses VNC. I will show you the configuration I have here, and I will try to give you as much as possible the correct way, so if you apply it, you can get it. I have chosen allow remote administration with session management, and then if you choose, I guess, do not allow remote administration, you will totally disable it from this place. You will disable VNC, except if you I don't know if you can enable access using a web browser or not, like separately from allowing the remote administration. For example, if you disable the remote administration, I mean this one, if you disable this one, I don't know if you still can enable the access using a web browser or not. And when we say a web browser, we mean an application called no VNC. And then I have the firewall port open. This one, you press space and it's going to be enabled. And then you click or press next, and it's going to do the job. It's restarted already because it reconfigured it, but the configuration is the same, so nothing wrong happened. Second thing is I'm going to show you the applications that I have installed. It can be a matter of missing applications. Let's search with the keyword that's not installed. I want to show you the ones I have installed in order to get my openSUSE having a VNC server working where I can remote control it. So as a zipper, search VNC. And of course, if you have chosen to get the remote administration and the VNC server, you can disable the web option in the previous menu that I showed you. So let's look for VNC. Zipper will look for all the packages that are available containing VNC in their names. And we can see the ones that are not installed as well as the ones that are installed. Just in case, for me, I have some of them can be installed once you enable from YAST to the remote administration, the one I was showing you in the Uncourses menu, and some of them are dependencies, and some of them I myself installed them. So I have this one, which can be, if there is an I before, it means it's installed. This one is mostly a dependency. This one, I guess, as well. and then this one for a client, and then this one a library for the server. This one, I guess it's also a library and a dependency. Mostly the libraries are dependencies, correct me if I'm wrong. This no VNC is for the browser. You can see here HTML5 WebSocket, which means for the browser. Tiger VNC, which is mostly used, but the difference between Tiger VNC and some distributions like Gentoo, it has a daemon. But for openSUSE, the daemon is different. You can, on Gentoo, for example, simply run RC update or RC service start Tiger VNC or VNC Tiger VNC start. I forgot the exact command, and if I made a mistake in it, or you try to type it and you get an error, you can try again with changing the order of the words. These ones are already installed and they are probably dependencies. This one VNC manager, and this one as well. This one I believe, or I mostly believe I installed it myself. And this one also, either I installed it myself or it was pulled as a dependency. For this one, I guess after I installed it, it worked. Sometimes it doesn't work. And I have the last one, this one for no VNC. Mostly they are installed. This one is installed with the other no VNC, which we have right here. Okay. For the services, so this one doesn't work because there is another service working instead of it and taking the port. It says here, let me make it full screen or maximize, I mean. Here it says failed to create listening socket address already in use for XVNC. Probably this is for XVNC. When we talk about VNC servers, there are so many. One of them is Tight VNC, Tiger VNC, XVNC, and so on. And there is another VNC service that I have running. Mostly this will run with YAST. When you click on next in the curses menu, after you choose allow remote administration, you will get the services running. Like mine was disabled itself and then re-enabled when I showed you how you enable those things in the YAST 2 menu. So let me show you the one that I have running. VNC, probably it's VNC manager. VNC manager service. And let's see if it has, no, it doesn't tell if it's, let's check. It's a little tricky because the services names and the packages names are different. For example, for XVNC on Arch Linux, Gentoo, and so on, it's XVNC, but here it's different. Sometimes also the name here has uppercase and lowercase, which complicates things more, since in the shell prompts on Linux in general is case sensitive. So let's check if we have XVNC. There is a way to know the services. So we can do this. VNC manager, XVNC, the big one. See, I told you there is the package XVNC, instead of having it, yeah, it's not the service. I rarely use that command, that's why I sound like awkward with it. There is, let's go to YAST to see the services, because I remember there was something about it. Services manager. Alright, so let's go down. We have VNC manager. go down more. We have, this is inactive, and then yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, that's the service that needs to be running. Probably it's VNC manager. If you faced any error, you can tell me if you want in the comments. And sorry for the confusion. Me myself, I got a little confused configuring this, and eventually I got it working as you saw. What else should I show you here? I'm trying to find anything containing VNC. Tiger VNC as a service doesn't exist on openSUSE. So if you run Tiger VNC as a service, it won't work. I guess it's the same for NixOS. Every distribution has its own configuration. When we see the configuration files, we need to make sure that the password in the folder .vnc works. We have it. So if we check ls.vnc in our home folder, we'll get the password. If we check if it's with the, you can simply yourself run this command to make your VNC password. It's right here, this one, and it's going to be stored to that file. The next thing is you change the privileges to 600 like this. That can help. That can help make it working. You can see here that I have my password. It's working. There are other configurations like this one. I remember once I tried to configure and I didn't have those configurations. It didn't work, and then when I went to that file and set it this way, it worked. Sometimes see the path of some configuration files aren't necessarily the same. We can see here in VNC server users. Yeah, this one. This is the file. Here you can add your user, for example, column, and then one for the display, and then your user name, just in case. For me, I don't have it configured already and it's working. Sometimes if it doesn't work, you may need to come here and change it. This file also we don't have it, so you simply go to this one, and sometimes this one itself is not configured on Gentoo. Here you can see on Gentoo Wiki. Sometimes this file itself, you don't need to configure it on Gentoo, but when you configure this file, it sets it to work. Okay, this one you can change it also. I'm not gonna save it, keep it the way it is. As long as it works, why should I change? VNC server, config, defaults, and here you can change, but for me I don't want to change anything. I want to keep it the way it is as long as it's working as you saw. Here it is. If I want to log in, I can. I guess you saw it already logged in at the beginning of the video. So yeah, I hope I missed nothing. I hope if you applied these steps and you got them working the way I got them, it will work flawlessly for you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. Thank you for watching, and see you.